Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. Today we are going to work on font stuff. There is a missing feature. I mean, there are many missing features, but a big one when it comes to our fonts is I'll show you by opening a font. So, here we have a slightly larger font than the default screen font, and as you can see here, each glyph has a whole bunch of white space below it. And that's really only there so we can accommodate these glyphs that have descenders, like the lowercase p's and q's. The majority of glyphs don't have descenders, and so this space here is not used. But because we have to put that space there to accommodate these, what ends up happening is that these glyph, or the rects we end up with when using this text kind of skew to the top, if that makes sense, or they don't skew. They are very top heavy. So, for example, if we just open the browser here, we can see that here is an instance of this font being used. And if we turn on line box borders, we can see that there's actually a fair amount of space below each letter here just to accommodate the Y. So today, what I would like to do is add a concept of a baseline to our font format. And the baseline is just going to be a number that tells you like which row of pixels in the font contains the baseline that the sort of the letters rest on normally, if that makes sense. And then we can use that when doing text layout to make sure that we sort of subtract the space reserved for descenders from when doing vertical positioning so that things sit in a good place. Let's see if we can make sense of that. So I guess a good way to test this would be to like we can switch to a larger system font, for example. So if we just make the default font here return this larger font, let's see how that looks. Then it should be like super visible what the issue is. Right, so now you can see up here in the menu that there's like way more space below the text than above it. And that happens because the font actually has white space here. So we can see that the P has enough space. So I think what we want to do here for starters is to just make sure that we have this information so that we can take it into account. Then what we do once we have the info, I'm not quite sure. Also, there seems to be a little bit of a glitch here. I guess there's some missing invalidation going on in the window title bar. I'm just not going to care about that right now. Let's just care about the font stuff. So the first thing we want to do is update the font format. So here in LibGraphics, Font CPP is the canonical authority on the font file format in Serenity. So basically, I was forward thinking enough to to add some unused bytes. So we'll just take one of those and put baseline. And then I think we'll want to update our existing fonts. So probably the easiest way to do that would be just to add some UI for this and make it editable in our font editor application. So let's see what that looks like again, because I already forgot. So we'll just put something like below the glyph width, I guess. Glyph width colon right here. Okay, so it goes in the editor container. Wait, what's an editor container? Glyph editor and info. Wait, what? I'm not quite sure what's what here. Hold on. Oh, wait, I'm looking at this one. Oh, that's kind of an ambiguous situation here. Glyph width row. Yeah, that's probably what we're looking for. So I don't know what's up with this comment style, but I guess we'll just roll with it. So baseline row. I should do more work on the UI description language so that we don't have to do this, but right now we are here, so this is what we're doing. Baseline container, set layout, horizontal box layout. Sure. Okay. Oops. Excuse me. All right, and then that's our container, and then we'll add a label. We'll call it the baseline label, I guess. Baseline container, add GUI label. That's a fixed fill. Set preferred size, say 100. Would be nice to have a grid layout for the libGUI actually. It's kind of tedious to make this kind of layout when you can just define a grid and just everything would slot in nicely. But yeah, that's not what we're here to worry about right now. Center left. Set text. Baseline. Okay, and then we want to have a spin box. So baseline spin box. Add GUI spin box. The spin box size policy will be size policy fixed width with a dynamic vertical size or height. The preferred width will be 100, and the baseline spin box set value. I guess that's the edited font baseline, which we'll have to expose. And then I guess we can have a min 0, and the max will be the edited font glyph height -1, because you can't have the baseline below. It has to be somewhere in your pixels. I think that would make sense. Otherwise, I mean, let's not confuse ourselves with baselines outside of the glyphs. I don't really know what that would be like. So font, I guess we should set the value after defining the range. And then let's go here and make sure that we expose this information. So this will be U8 baseline. Should we have set baseline? Does that make sense? It's a bit weird that the graphics font class is kind of mutable. I feel like, I mean, it's only mutable because it's used that way by the font editor application. It's kind of it's a bit of a tech debt eyesore. The fact that every other client of libgraphics has to look at this font class, which has a bunch of mutable accessors. That's something we should improve by, like, I guess really what we want to do is like make a mutable font class that only the font editor uses, because it's not useful to any other client of libgraphics. Anyway, this is where we are right now, so we'll just do this. Baseline is baseline. And we need to store this somewhere, so font now has M baseline. And when we load fonts, we need to, wait, is this actually not used? Load from memory? It is used, okay. Man, Cube Creator is getting progressively worse at finding things. Like when I click Control U to find all usages, I feel like in the past it would find the usages, but now it doesn't anymore, and I don't know what changed. Anyway, regardless, let's keep going forward. Also, this is a really weird API. I don't love this API, the fact that it just takes a pointer, but no, we don't have size information. A little bit of a crappy API, but it's internal here, so it doesn't matter so much. It is internal, right? Yes. So here is where we construct the font. So we'll just add an argument to the constructor where you have to provide the baseline. Okay, and then that broke some code that now requires us to pass along. Baseline when we're cloning a font, when we're creating a new font, we'll just put the baseline at 0 and let you deal with it. And this is the aforementioned constructor, in which we will simply initialize the baseline. Okay, so that's good. I think, is that everything we need? I mean, we didn't really finish hooking up the UI here in the font editor, so really what we want to do is spinbox, 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 baseline, spinbox, on change, int value. So when that changes, then what we'll do is we'll say the edited font set baseline value, I guess, and update the demo, although it's not really going to show anything interesting there. What is update demo? Update demo. Oh. Event handlers. What the frick is an... Okay. Event handlers. That's great. Okay. So, we have this. Now, the UI is, like, not quite vertically large enough to accommodate here, so we're going to have to fix that. This metadata group box needs a little bit of space, a little bit of a vertical girth. The window needs a little bit of vertical girth. I think, let's say we put it at something like, what was this, 495 height. Wait, let's say 500. So font editor main. Where do we decide how tall this thing is? Set rect. Font editor widget preferred height. Oh, I see. Okay. 250 is our constant. Well, just bump that up then. Okay, that's kind of decent. And I'm just thinking, should we do something more to show where the baseline is? I guess we could do something. What would we do? I guess here we could show something. Well, let's just see if we can actually save it though. So, save. How do we save these things? Header. Do we have like right to file? Yes, we do. Okay. Thank you, Pastel, for using predictable names for things. Header, Basset line, and Basset line. All right, so now we should be able to save this font with a new Basset line, and let's see about that. So let's start the font editor. We'll set the Basset line to, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So E11. Save. I feel like that should have asked me where I want to save it. Seems like an oversight. We'll just save it as saved.font. And it remembers 11. That's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna need to do this for all the fonts, I guess. Actually, it's a little bit of a hassle, but it'll be okay. So this Pebbleton 14. Actually, so let's copy res fonts, everything here. Okay, and then let's just edit these guys. Wow, this font is so weird to use in the interface. I feel like the interface needs to accommodate the font somehow better. Anyway, so this guy is like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess that makes sense. Oh, but. Did that make sense? I think so. And this guy is the same 8. Wait, I wonder if these are getting saved now. Yes, they are. Awesome. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. 19. These fonts don't get a whole lot of use. 18 by 24. Put 19 here as well. Okay, that's fine. And then this guy is like, oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Holy moly. That is a palatial font. 30. Alright, I'm just assuming that these are compatible, by the way. I didn't actually verify if it's 30 for all of them, but whatever. Okay, and then this guy's a bit easier because it's 8, or 10 is the height. So this is row 9, that's row 8. So let me just double check this. So that's height 14, this is 13, 12, 11. So it should be 10 actually. So I messed it up before putting 11. Same thing here, 10. All right, so we have, I messed this one up, right? 11. Yeah, that was the wrong baseline. Can I delete that? Ooh. Yeah, this thing collapsed over here, but it is pretty cool. Okay, so we have done a little bit of file management. I have to say that everything is working okay so far, which is very nice. No hiccups. I mean, some hiccups, but nothing major. It's good. Good testing. So let's mount the disk image. And just take these out. Res fonts. Boom. Oops, that's not my Git alias. Alright, so these are all of our altered fonts. And now if we rebuild, hopefully all of those are still there, or I'm going to be very sad. Yes, baseline 10 has been saved. Okay, so this will be our first commit. Let's see, git add. Let's commit everything in one go, actually. So graphics plus font editor plus base. Add a baseline. Baseline value to all fonts. This does nothing at the moment, but will soon allow us to improve the vertical positioning of text. Okay. So now that we have this information, what do we do to make the text here look better? So now we know which pixel row is sort of the logical bottom, but not. I mean, it's wrong to call it the bottom because it's not the bottom, but it's like the basement, or it's the ground floor, and you may have a basement. Let's say. So the descender is the basement. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe we need to track more information here, like how much space there is for descenders and ascenders. I am not. I don't have a lot of experience with text layout. I'm just kind of figuring this out as we go. But that's what we've been doing this whole time, so it's not like this is new. Let's see if we can do something with this. So where do we draw that menu? Menu redraw. Menu draw. No, this is the menu bar, actually, that I'm thinking of. Wait. Who draws the menu bar, then? Menu manager? Menu manager. Okay, so menu manager draws the menu bar. The menu bar is a very sad and empty class. Interesting. Oh, I see. This is because a menu bar is something that this is a little weird because in the Windows Server application, a menu bar is not the menu bar at the top of the screen so much. A menu bar is something that each client application that connects to Windows Server provides a menu bar. So the menu bar is a container that has these 5 menus here. This is not part of the application menu bar. This is a separate menu bar, which is installed by a separate application called the System Menu app. System menu. But let's see what happens if we kill that, out of curiosity. I guess it will just respawn. Or will it? Yeah, I guess it did. Okay, it's kind of interesting. System server notices and spawns a new one. That's pretty cool. But if we harass it too much, He's giving up on it, and then, oh, it's gone. Okay, anyway. Then we can start our own system menu. And it's here. Oh wait, what the heck? That's weird. I don't know what that is. That is not supposed to look like that when you press Control-C after running system menu. This time it didn't. Strange. Anyway, I wanted to look at Menu Manager. Menu Manager is the class that actually draws the menu bar that you see at the top of the screen. So here we draw, which, where do we do the text? Painter draw text. So this is for each active menu bar menu. So this will iterate through all of the visible menus right now. So like this is system menu on the left, and then the application menu and any other menus provided by the currently active client. And if it's open, we'll draw it in a certain style. Either way, we'll draw the text here. So text rect in menu bar. That's how we know where to draw the text. Okay. Let's draw that rect so that we can see what it is. Draw rect, menu, text rect in menu bar. Maybe we'll draw it in magenta, the ultimate debugging color. And we can see what that looks like. All right. Let me get Magnus up in here. Okay, so we can see that these are the text rect in menu bars. So the text rect in menu bar spans from the top, very top pixel of the menu bar to the very bottom. And I feel like that's already kind of not ideal. Although I guess it's done that way so that when you click on a menu, then this rect covers everything. So you see this brown selected rect, sort of active rect. We want that to go all the way down to the bottom of the menu bar. So I guess that's why it's done that way. Or, well, actually, is it really? It's not using, oh, it is using rect in menu bar. Wait. Oh, okay. Rect in menu bar and text rect in menu bar. Those are different things. Right, so this is the rect in menu bar is the brown rect that you see here, and text rect is the magenta rectangle. So we could actually do some tweaks to the text rect. I feel like one thing we could do is we could constrain it a bit more vertically just to begin with, because we don't want the text to bleed. We don't want it to bleed above the top pixel, nor the bottom 2 pixels. So that's already an improvement we could make here, I think. But let's take a look at how that gets set. So somewhere we call set text rect in menu bar, I guess when we install a new menu bar. So when we install a new menu bar, which happens when you switch from one app to the other, then the Windows server sort of takes the menu bar from the newly made active application and installs that into the menu manager. And then what we end up doing is just measuring everything and figuring out like the layout of the various menu items. So here we compute the text rect. And maybe we can move this out. So text rect. Graphics int rect text rect is menu bar rect height. So here we can definitely lose 3 pixels, and we can move him down 1 pixel. I wonder what that would be like. Let's take a look at that. So here's Magnus. Okay, so now Still looks basically the same, except the text does not cover the top pixel anymore, which I think is okay. Now we're gonna have to turn off the magenta so we can see what's going on, or see what it's actually looking like. Magenta. Okay. So that's it. I feel like it kind of looks better already, but not perfect. We still want to move it down a little bit, or do we? This is so tricky now because I guess we want to move it down a little bit more. I mean, actually, a better thing to look at is over here. If you look at the clock, because he's definitely like there are no descenders in the clock, and that ends up looking kind of awkward. So we want text like this to be centered vertically. So let's grab the GIMP. No, that's not how that works. Desktop. So for this to happen correctly, we would need this to, let's see, let me just do that and that. Okay, so 1 pixel down, that would kind of solve the whole issue. 2 pixels down would be too much. So it needs to move 1 pixel down. And would the same be good over here? I feel like probably. Let's just mess with it. Let's ignore this guy for now. So make a new layer. And if we move that, wait. Hold on a minute. Oh shit, wait, I didn't do that right. I did not do that right. Okay, so delete yourself. Oops. New layer. One pixel down. So 1 pixel down here feels it feels better, but it also puts the G in an awkward position a little bit, but also it's kind of okay. I don't know what to think about that. It looks better than this. Okay. So, how, based on the information we have about the baseline, what can we do here? And also, actually, shit, I shouldn't have changed the default font of the system, I realize now. This needs to be changed back. Oops. Also, we should probably make these configurable. So let's just take a look at what it looks like with the old font. Okay, so with the old font, I feel like things are in a good place. So we just need to do something with the new thing. So I guess, let's see, what would be a naive approach to this? First thing is we'll just we'll just restore this. So add git commit amend so that we don't break that, and then we can actually just restore this again. Here we go. So I guess in Painter draw text, when we draw text, take me to that code. So we have a rect to draw some text into. And then draw text line. And here we have a line, a rect, and eventually we start drawing here. So this is the part, now we've computed exactly where the text needs to go. So we can skip all the stuff leading up to this, I think, and then here we can adjust based on the, or actually, I guess we should adjust in case this is a vertically centered thing. So this is, let's see, if let's add a helper here. Is right text alignment inline bool is vertically centered text alignment. Nope, nope, nope. No. Center left. So the vertically centered ones are center left, center right, and center center. Default will turn false. Alright. So if is vertically centered text alignment, alignment, then let's see. Then we can look at the is this too late? Probably. Where did we do the vertical positioning? This is horizontal positioning. Where did we do vertical? Draw text line. Line rect, bounding rect, Y. Bounding rect. So if you're centering, this, I'm just thinking, like, text layout has like all these phases. So first you break it into lines, and then or text painting has phases where you break it into lines, and then you figure out like the Y offset of each line, and eventually you paint each glyph on each line, one line at a time. And I'm just trying to figure out where do we actually do the baseline adjustment. I think maybe we'll do it here at the very end. Is vertically centered text alignment. Maybe this was not the worst idea, so let's see, rect maybe we'll compute the diff. Baseline distance from baseline to bottom is font width height minus font baseline. I guess -1 font width -1 because it's zero based. The baseline is zero based. Okay, let's just log this and see what it says. So what kind of number this is giving us. This will be very loud. Did I change some header? Oh, text alignment. Okay. Graphics. I didn't mean to actually add all of those. Text alignment is vertically centered. Okay. So distance 3. That's presumably what we're looking at here. Oh, we can see it when it updates the clock. So the distance between the bottom and the baseline is 3 pixels, which is consistent with what we see here, right? And then what if we just offset it by that distance divided by 2? I feel like that would be a kind of reasonable approach. So what if we just did that? Correct move by 0, distance from baseline to bottom divided by 2. That does look kind of reasonable. But what would it be if we use our normal font? So here the distance is 1, so that will just effectively do no offset since the offset is integer. Let's see, res fonts. What if we use some like obscenely large font, like this guy right here? Lisa Thin 1824. Now this is a wild font. It's one of the first fonts I made for the system. I mean, not the large version, just Lisa font. Yeah, so the menu size calculation does not take font height into account at all. That's an issue. Same with the menu items here. They just don't care. Window titles definitely break from this. So there's like a whole bunch of things that we need to fix to respect font height, I think. System needs to get better at using arbitrary fonts. Anyways, I think for a first cut, I'm just going to be happy with this progress, because even if this is not the best way to do this, at least we now have the information. We have a way to get it. I mean, we've added baselines to our fonts. Now fonts know their baseline. We're using it here to tweak the vertical offset of text slightly when something is supposed to be vertically centered. I guess here's another example of something vertically centered. It actually does look pretty good. In these boxes right here. These are not vertically centered. This looks totally off. What the actual heck is going on? Say what? Why do you look like that? We need to help him. How did I mess that up? Draw text. I guess we can also, let's say, offset. Distance divided by 2, and then we'll put the text here as well. And the text is final text. At least that's what I thought. Final text is a UTF-8 view. Okay, all right. As string. If you prefer. I want to know what's up with that. Didn't look quite right in the calendar. Sep20 distance was 9. Yeah, that's why we're doing this huge offset here. So I guess, did I just mess up one of the fonts or forget to update it? Let's see. That would be this one, baseline 8. Doesn't seem wrong. Oh, is it this one maybe? Wait, which one is that? Is that Chilla Bold? Calendar, main. Which one is this? I don't. Let's see. What's it called? Previous date, next date. Okay, so previous date, that's the prep date action, which is added to the toolbar here, and then we make selected calendar button. And the font is the default bold fixed width font. Great. Which we know is Chilla Bold. Named after my cat. Then, oh wait, I didn't update that one either. All right. Cool. Test out the drag and drop to desktop. Working out nicely. And of course, this. Oh, wait, that's interesting. Now you can see it moving up here when you move the baseline. That's pretty neat. Yeah, so that's 9, that's 8. Okay, and what do I want to do here? Mount disk image. Oh, wait. Forgot to give baselines to those, fix up baselines, and then we don't commit that one. We don't commit this. This calculation here is probably wrong or dumb somehow. I'm not really sure, but we just needed to do something to make it look nicer. We'll have to do something smarter eventually. You can't do everything smart and right immediately. You got to iterate. So, right, then we're also tweaking the text rect a little bit. Let's commit that separately. Windows Server, shrink the text. Shrink menu bar, menu text rects slightly. Don't want the menu titles to cover the entire menu bar, unless, yeah, well, we don't want that. And then the graphics. Move vertically centered text down slightly based on baseline to make more aesthetically pleasing use of the vertical space. Let's say make slightly more. Now move all vertically centered text lines down by the, I guess this is like the by half the amount of space below baseline. Normally half the amount of space below this, half the amount of glyph space below the baseline in the glyph, half the amount of space below fonts baseline. This is probably not the correct way to do this, but it does make things look nicer with some of our fonts already. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then I forget. Was there something more I wanted to do? Oh, right, I had that. I wanted to clean up that fix-up thing. So let's just stash that. Base. That's a fix-up for you. And maybe we should pop actually. Stash poop. See, I'm using stash, get stash, by the way. People have been telling me to use Git Stash for so long, and I finally pushed myself into remembering to use it. So thank you, everyone, for always reminding me to use Git Stash. So this thing here, like, by the way, this thing needs to become a bit more font aware. Like, just the fact that we're missing some space here to be able to say September 2020. That's something that needs to be done in the calendar application. Generally, like, font size aware layouts is something that we don't do very well right now. It would be interesting to do something about that. I guess I'm not exactly sure what that would be. I guess if you could use some other unit than pixels, you could have like a font size relative unit to express your layout. That's something. We kind of need to improve our layout description mechanisms somehow. But that's all stuff for another day. Today we have added baselines to fonts, and now I think that they look pretty cool. A little bit nicer. This looks a bit nicer here, and that's a little bit weird. What are you doing? Oh, okay, goodbye. Somebody should fix this this window frame thing. Anyway, a lot more work to do on fonts, obviously. A lot more work to do on everything, but one day at a time. So this will be the end of today's video. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching and for hanging out. I hope that you saw something interesting, and yeah, I'll see you next time.